Welcome to NMH at 1, your lunchtime news and current affairs program. Happy Women's Day, everyone. As always, we will be taking you through the latest happening across Africa, Namibia, and beyond. My name is Aina Raizakweyo, and I will be your lunchtime champion. In the news today, Ochondo Ndupa, a regional governor, urges traditional authorities to work together and address issues that arise in their communities. Street vendors implored to follow the rules and regulations of informal trading. We also join in on the celebration of the Nama cultural heritage, which was hosted in Mondesa, Swakopmund. These stories and more lined up in today's broadcast. Welcome back to NMH at 1. In our latest news, we start off with good news from southern Namibia. Level of the Naute Dam close to Cape Manshop this morning again reached 108.3%, resulting in the opening of its sluice from about 10 o'clock this morning. Good rains have already filled the dam this morning once more during the current affairs. Water was being let out the dam at the rate of 300 cubic meters per second, and authorities have also warned farmers, residents and travelers of the South Dam to be well prepared for the rise of the water. When we come back, we will take a look at the news from across the region. Welcome back to NMH at 1. Getting into today's video news, the governor of Ochondo Ndupa region, James Uirikwa, continues with his series of engaging stakeholders. At the same time, he urged traditional authorities to work together and address issues that arise in their communities. Enzo Amwele reports.
We have met yesterday with applicants or aspiring traditional authorities that you see here. I have 5 applications from 5 different traditional authorities in Oshogondjupa region that are seeking recognition as traditional authorities. That is in addition to yourselves already, who are recognized in your various capacities, in your various areas of jurisdiction and operating in the region of Oshogondjupa. So I saw it fit as well that you as key stakeholders, we need to discuss and pave a way forward. We need to discuss on the aspects of inclusive governance, where participatory governance is the order of the day, where we consult on every action to be taken. We consult on government programs to be executed. You might be aware that a lot of OMAs throughout government are busy reviewing their annual and strategic plans. The budget of our government have already been tabled by the Honorable Minister of Finance, and it will go into debate in Parliament. As regions, as traditional authorities, we need to project ourselves in such a way that we can have meaningful impact through the necessary means that our voice can be heard as far as debates are concerned, as far as considerations are concerned. Though the budget is already tabled, it is yet to be gazetted and to be promulgated into what we call the appropriation bill. So this is important, that such consultations must happen early at the beginning of the year. I want to talk strongly. The cooperation between traditional authorities in regions and in Namibia. The government of the Republic of Namibia have 52 recognized traditional authorities in the Republic of Namibia. And on top of that, there are the unrecognized traditional authorities that are operating within their various communities as of how they identify themselves within their communities. Them being part and parcel of the Republic of Namibia, we also consult, because every consultation is key in decision making. The cooperation between traditional authority is a cause of concern, whereby you find traditional authorities in one region, but people do not coexist and try to exchange ideas and leadership aspects that can solve problems. We are serving the same community. Thus, we need to be consulting and be on the same page and work together. But if we are not harmonized at all levels, we will never be able to achieve our objectives on time.
Moses Simaho, who is the regional inspector of the Umsati region, pleads with the street vendors of Okahao on the importance of obeying the laws and regulations around informal selling. Tunohole Mungoba was there.
Is a government representation institution. It is not just like maybe a town council is coming from where. That's why you see this. What we are having. It's government gazette of the Republic of Namibia. But it's the content, information which is inside here is pertaining about the town council. But some people say, who is town council? Say Kahoro now or councillor. Town council and your councillor is the same. They are government representative, just like us, the police. Police institution is a government institution. That is where I wanted to make it clear. I thank you very much, Chairman.
The Nama Fundraising Festival took place at the Mondesa Stadium in Swakopmund with the purpose to celebrate the Nama cultural heritage distinctively. Micheline Nawatisis attended the event.
As organizers of this event, we believe that this is a perfect platform to keep this flame alive and preserving our cultural identity. We further believe that this event presents a powerful space to celebrate the uniqueness and beauty of who we are, our history, our heritage, our language, our traditional cuisine, our beautiful artwork, our dances, and our arts.
When we return, we will be taking a sneak peek inside Namibia's daily print publications, but first a quick ad break. Thank you for staying with NMH at 1. We now take a look at what the lead stories are in the Namibian daily newspapers on the front pages of these newspapers today. The Namibian Sun, features about a complaint by the Namibian University of Science and Technology, NUST, to the company developing the waterfront in Lüderitz, which is allegedly delaying construction of the university planned southern campus at the harbour town. According to NUST, the government has already paid $130 million for the property where the campus must be built. The Namibian Sun also reports on page 3 about the Supreme Court's ruling yesterday in a legal battle hinging on equal rights of the LGBTQ couples. The court found that immigration officials did unfairly discriminate against Guillermo Delgado and bluntly refused him re-entry into the country in 2020. For this reason, the Ministry of Home Affairs and Immigration was ordered to pay the cost of litigation. The court, however, found that it cannot interfere with the way the domicile was granted. Moving right along, Republican leads with government statement in the National Assembly that the medical aid scheme for civil servant PSEMAS must first be fixed on all levels to ensure its sustainability before appointing a new administrator can be entertained. Finance Minister Ipumbushimi was replying to questions by PDM MP Nico Smith. The cost of PSEMAS has increased to more than $3 billion in the new budget. The Afrikaans Daily Republican also reports on the agreement between the Development Bank of Namibia and partners Otesa Energy Project and UNESCO to construct a 5.4 megawatt solar power park at Roshpina in the south of the country. The plant will provide electricity for the town's zinc and mine will at the same time limit the carbon footprint of this operation. In Allgemeine Zeitung, the lead picture of the German language is a refurbished mining museum in Tsumeb, where the mineral history of Namibia is safeguarded for future generations. This building was originally constructed in 1950 and the German embassy has contributed 15,000 euros to the renovations. Afrobarometer research about gender-based violence in its 2021 survey features on page 3 of AZ. This shows that more than half of Namibians, 57%, view violence against women and girls as common occurrence in their society within which they live. About 1,200 people participated in this survey, which was conducted in October and November last year. The Namibian zooms in on gloomy predictions that oil price, which stood at more than 1,123 US dollar barrel yesterday, will continue to rise. At the start of the global financial crisis in 2008, Brent crude peaked at $147 per barrel. Consumers in probability therefore have to prepare themselves to further significant increases of fuel prices, which will most probably trickle down to the price of goods and services. Finally, the practice at some schools to send children with so-called illegal hairstyles home led to a question in the National Assembly by whether the Ministry of Education circular that prohibits such measures is not further eroding discipline amongst the youth. The ministry explains that many parents have complained but emphasized that parents must do their bit by ensuring children are neatly groomed. New Era leads with the issue of dual citizenship and continued payment of pension by both South Africa and Namibia to about 300 residents of the country. The South African Social Security Agency is complaining that the family of some individuals who have already passed away continue to collect payments illegally. The late Emmanuel Ngachideko, remembered by the New Era, the former mayor of Windhoek and member of the cabinet, passed away on Saturday, and amongst the other comprehended the collection of $30 million for the construction of SWAPO's new head office in Windhoek, which is currently under construction. In front of the My Zone page, Ndahambelela Hafeni tells how Oscar Pretorius' case inspired her to pursue a career in law and create an NGO called Law Simplified. You can get these inserts in the Namibia media holding papers, including the latest school newspapers for the Erongo region and the Central North. According to the Market Watch, in split of some green shots showing here and there, the domestic economy will only rebound to pre-pandemic levels by 2024. The Institute for Public Policy Research says the gradual nature for this recovery will therefore put continued pressure on both revenue and spending. We bring you economic news when we return from the break. In today's economic news, 500 million extra income for NCAS with proper cattle offtake. The Meat Board stressed that Namibia's foot and mouth disease-free status would be lost if the integrity of the red line is compromised, resulting in the country losing all its lucrative markets. If offtake of cattle similar to that in the south of Namibia could be obtained in the northern communal areas, an additional income of more than 500 million would flow into the region. This is according to the Meat Board CEO, Paul Straydrom, who said addressing the non-marketing of cattle in the NCAs will this year remain a hot topic and focus area for the board. He said the maintenance of the veterinary cordon fence will also be top priority of the Meat Board of Namibia during this year. According to Straydrom, the increased elephant population destroys the fence on a regular basis in search of additional grazing and water sources. To maintain the integrity of this fence, the Meat Board started and will continue to electrify hotspots along the fence. He stressed that Namibia's foot and mouth disease-free status would be lost if the integrity of the fence is compromised, resulting in the country losing all its lucrative markets. First Capital blames cuts for retrenchment. Pension fund manager First Capital has increased the retrenchment of 5 of its employees because of a 50% management fee reduction paid to it by one of its big clients. The CEO, Martin Mwinga, says this follows claims that the company was targeting employees who had joined the Namibian Financial Institution Union to fight for better pay and working conditions. Last month, the company issued a notice retrenchment to at least 5 employees. One of the retrenchment notices stated that the company is anticipating retrenchment due to the reduction of businesses for economic reasons. A meeting is scheduled for this Friday with the affected employees and the recognized trade unions for their negotiations around the alternative to their dismissal. Criteria for selecting employees for dismissal, conditions and severance packages. Mwinga denied the claims that workers affected by the retrenchment had raised grievances regarding the salaries and countered that First Capital had indeed given its staff members salary increases during the lockdown brought by COVID-19 pandemic. Netflix is shutting down all services in Russia. Netflix is shutting down its operation in Russia, one of the largest media companies to pull out of the market following the attack on Ukraine. No new customers will be able to sign up, and it's unclear what will happen to the existing account, the company said. The service has under 1 million customers in Russia. Netflix has been operating in Russia through a joint venture with a national media group, joins a growing list of companies from Apple Inc., IKEA in suspending or terminating their businesses in the country after the invasion of Ukraine last month. Several Hollywood studios have also paused the release of movies in Russia. The streaming giant said previously it won't be carrying required Russian news channel on its local language service in the country and has paused all projects and acquisition from Russia, including 4 Russian original programs in production. We now take a look at our economic indicators. The British pound, euro and the US dollar have declined in value, while the Chinese yuan observed an increase, now trading at 2 Namibian dollars and 42 cents. The price of MTC shares have decreased by 0.10%, while things are looking up for the Capricorn Investment Group, which saw a 0.50% increased stock in prices. Trustco Group Holding maintains its price on the stock market along with Nictus Holding, the Oryx Properties, while the local and overall index closed at a lower price. Commodities continue to go up in value, with copper rising by 3.68% and Brent crude oil going up by 2.0%. More on this when we return with news from across the continent. Stay with us. Welcome back to NMH at 1. Now we take a look at the latest news in our neighboring countries. We will later extend to the rest of the globe. Gay couple scores a partial victory on Namibia residency in top court. A gay couple scored a partial victory in Namibia's Supreme Court on Monday after it ruled the government has discriminated against them when it rejected the residency application for one of the two who is Mexican-born. The court ordered that the Home Affairs Ministry reconsider the application of Guillermo Delgado and for permanent residency in the southern African country. Delgado appealed to the Supreme Court after a lower court denied Delgado's residency request in February last year, siding with the government, which had refused to give legal recognition to his marriage to Philip Lul, a Namibian. In Namibia, permanent residency is automatically granted to foreigners married to local spouses, but same-sex marriages are not legally recognized. Lul and Delgado's case is seen as a legal test for the LGBTQ+ rights in Namibia. In a verdict hailed as a big win for gay couples, Lul and Delgado in October won citizenship by descent for their son, born to a surrogate in South Africa in 2019. Gunmen kill at least 62 vigilantes in Nigeria's Kebbi state. Gunmen ambushed and killed at least 62 members of a volunteer vigilante group in Nigeria northwestern Kebbi state. The head of the group and the police spokesperson said in the worst violence to hit the state since mid-January. Many northwestern states in Nigeria have groups of volunteers who help defend villages and towns from armed gangs as security forces are stretched fighting Islamic militants and the gangs known as bandits. Usam Sani, the head of the Yan Kasai, a vigilante group in Kebbi, told Reuters that his group had planned to attack bandits in the Sakaba area on Sunday night rather, but someone tipped them off. Kebbi police spokesperson Nafu Abubakar confirmed the ambush but said he did not have details on how many people have been killed. Tunisia Ennahda Party says its senior official Bari released from house arrest. Tunisia's moderate Islamist Ennahda Party said on Facebook that its senior official Naudarine Bairi was freed from house arrest early on Tuesday. The Tunisian Interior Ministry had lifted the house arrest order against Bairi, the state agency reported on Monday. Bairi was placed under house arrest due to illegal submission of passport and nationality documents and a serious suspicion of terrorism, according to the Interior Minister. Bairi, who was detained in December, was the party's first senior official to be detained since President Kais Saied dismissed parliament and seized the governing powers in July in a move that Ennahda and some other parties have called a coup. Since Said's July's intervention, several senior politicians and business leaders have detained and subjected to legal prosecution, often involving the case of corruption or defamation. When we return, we will take a look at our international news. Welcome back. North Korea construction spotted at the N Korea nuclear test site for the first time since 2018. Satellite imagery shows construction at North Korea's nuclear testing site for the first time since it was closed in 2018. Analysts said on Tuesday as U.S. intelligence report warned the country could resume major weapon tests this year. Images captured by the magical satellite on Friday showed very early signs of activities at the Pangui site, including construction of a new building, repair of another building, and what is possibly some lumber and sawdust. Specialists at the California-based James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies said in a report. North Korea tested a record number of missiles in January, including its largest weapon since 2017, and appears to be preparing to launch a spy satellite. International monitors have also reported the North's main nuclear reactor facility in Yongbon appears to be full in swing, potentially creating fuel for nuclear weapons. North Korea's missiles launch could be grounded work for a return to intercontinental ballistic missiles and nuclear bomb test this year, the U.S. Director for National Intelligence said in its annual worldwide threat assessment. The report said North Korean leader Kim Jong-un remains strongly committed to expanding the country's nuclear weapons arsenal. Russian offensive slows, says Ukraine, as residents flee bombard out cities. Russia's offensive in Ukraine continues but at a significantly lower pace on Tuesday, and a second senior Russian commander has been killed, Ukraine military and intelligence said, as frightened residents fled bombed-out cities. In the city of Irpin, on the northwest edge of Kyiv, residents ran with young children in strollers or cradling babies in arms, while others carried pet carriers and plastic bags and suitcases. The alliance says the restrictions are needed to prevent arms smuggling and accuses the Malthians of using ports of military purpose charges on the group, which the group denies rather. When we return from the break, there's more on NMH at 1. Stay with us.
Choose your flex package with Paratus today. Sign up for ultra-fast fiber with the convenience of mobile LTE. That's 2 products in 1 bundle. It's new, it's 1 bill, and you can stay connected in more than 1 location.
For more information, visit paratus.africa/NA.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Have you received a loan from NSFAF? NSFAF loan is the same as any other loan. It must be paid and settled. NSFAF has a set of guidelines on how you can repay your loan and become debt-free. Therefore, it is important that you, a former beneficiary and a responsible Namibian, show your patriotism by helping pay back your loan and thus helping NSFAF become a revolving fund for the benefit of future potential students. By failing to pay back your NSFAF loan, you risk being blacklisted or having a court order against you. So arrange with the fund to pay back your loan today. For more information on how you can repay your loan, visit our website at www.nasfaf.na or visit our Facebook page or Twitter. Do the right thing and hashtag payback the money.
Thank you for staying with NMH at 1. In your sport news this afternoon, Eagles of Namibia will face the United Arab Emirates today in the Tri-National Cricket World Cup League Series in Dubai. This is after they defeated Oman with 110 runs in their opening match on Sunday. In netball, Namibia's Vice President for Marketing of Sponsorship, Rebecca Hoases, said round 2 matches of the MTC Namibia Football Premier League showed there will be tough competition amongst teams throughout the season. The MTC NNPL held its round 1 and 2 matches for the 2022 season over the weekend at the Patrick Iyambo Police College in Windhoek. Hoases said the first round of matches, which were on Saturday, looked like a walkover for most of the team, but Sunday fixtures showed a different score margin. Namibia can host a Rugby World Cup qualifier. Mensa, Namibia Rugby Union President Corey Mensah has said the decision by Rugby Africa President Khaled Babu to give the rights of hosting the 2022 Rugby Africa Cup to France was fraudulent. Mensah said Namibia had expressed interest in hosting the tournament, but Babu ignored the country's plea. France declared they will be hosting this tournament on the 7th of September 2022, but the Rugby African Expo only voted for 10 September, allegedly after various committees submitted their respective recommendations by the 9th of September. How does Babu explain this? Moving on to international sport news, we will be talking about Tottenham push for top 4 finish. More after the break. In the international sport news, we take a look at international sports, and we start with an update of this weekend's Soweto derby. Antonio Conte challenged Tottenham to push for a top four finish in the Premier League after their 5-0 rout of Everton pushed the woeful visitors deeper into relegation danger on Monday. Conte's side ran red in North London after Michel Caillan's own goal started the spree early in the first half. Son Heung-min increased Tottenham's advantage and Harry Kane banked the third before the interval. Sergio Reguilon made four and Kane netted again to complete the demolition. Armando Duplantis is already sure of his place in the vault of history, following the hire on Monday when he broke his own world record with a leap of 6.19 meters in Belgrade. The 22-year-old American-born Swede, known as Mondo, was born and raised in Louisiana. His gold in Tokyo last year boosted his status in sports, searching for a star quality since the retirement of Jamaica sprint legend Usain Bolt in 2017. Filippo Ganna gave the home crowd something to cheer at the opening stage of Torino Atlético. After charging the individual time trial victory on Monday, Ineos-ridden Ganna showed why he is the reigning world time trial champion by completing a flat 13.9-kilometer course at Lindo di Camarillo in 15 minutes 17 seconds. When we come back, we'll bring you the highlights right after the commercial break. Welcome back to NMH at 1. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of today's episode, but we will be back again on your screen tomorrow, same time, same place. Coming up next, a regional review.
Good day and welcome to another episode of Regional Review. I'm Kenya Kamboe, the Namibia Media Holdings correspondent in the Northeastern regions. On today's show, we'll be giving you highlights of events that unfolded in the region over the past week. And also, we'll be sharing with you an interview that we conducted with Mr. Nicholas Dumba, an activist in Rundu, who will be sharing us what are some of the challenges mentally challenged people face in this region and some of the solutions that are needed to address this problem. Meanwhile, in history, today is International Women's Day, so check out the next video. Welcome back for the news review segment. Our first story under review is the good roads for motorists in Rundu. This is because the Rundu Town Council, with the assistance of the Roads Fund Administration, managed to appoint a contractor who is currently renovating the Dr. Sam Nujoma Road. The road in question has been a nightmare for motorists over the years. The road has been full of potholes, which later resulted to motorists using the road reserves or seek alternative roads to travel on. Meanwhile, motorists for years complained about the state of the road, which normally did not receive any positive feedback from the local authority, which always had an excuse of not having the adequate funds to renovate the road. However, with the contractor now on site for the upcoming weeks, motorists will surely be glad to use this road again, which will be in a better state. In our second story, we are looking at the shortage of nurses in the country. The issue of shortage of nurses in the country continues to have a serious effect on the health system of the country, with the latest impact felt in the Kavango West, where a clinic which was under construction since 2012 is yet to be operational despite being ready for use. The Kurenguru Primary Healthcare Clinic, which enjoyed a fair share of media reports since 2014 as contractors abandoned the project and for years has been standing idle, is yet to open its doors to the public due to the lack of human resource, the Health Ministry claims. This was confirmed by both Kavango West Health Director Francisca Hamutenya and the Health Ministry's Executive Director Ben Nangombe, who told Namibian Sun that the shortage of nurses in the market is the cause of the clinic not being operational. According to Hamutenya, the Regional Health Directorate is also experiencing a shortage of personnel, saying that they as a region are trying to fill the vacancies at the regional level, who then, as time goes, will be relayed to operate from the clinic. As to when the clinic will be operational, she said she cannot tell at this point in time. Meanwhile, according to Executive Director Ben Nangombe, he told Namibian Sun that there is a serious challenge when it comes to nurses in the country as well as in the global space. He attributed some of the challenges to COVID-19, saying that a number of health personnel, both internationally and locally, succumbed to the pandemic. However, he said that the ministry is awaiting those students who graduated who should be registered with the Nurses Council and will be employed to assist the industry. In our third story, according to the family of a woman from Rundus Tumwini informal settlement who was seen walking naked in public last week Tuesday and accused by some of practicing witchcraft, they say she suffers from mental illness and she missed a monthly medicine injection, which resulted to her showing such kind of symptoms. The patient, aged 60, attracted a huge crowd of onlookers, some of whom mocked and laughed at her, while others filmed her with their mobile phones. Videos of her walking naked have gone viral amid accusations she was practicing witchcraft in a region where such beliefs are commonplace. A family member told Namibian Sun the pensioner was scheduled for a medical follow-up on 28 February but did not attend, which aggravated her condition. According to the family, she missed her appointment at the Rundu State Hospital because there was no one to take her. Her 22-year-old granddaughter, who lives with her, said the family had no taxi money to take her to the hospital as the uncle who pays for her was out of town. One of her conditions causes her become confused and wander off from home, with her family often having to look for her. This, however, only happens when she misses her injection or when the medication is depleting from her system. Just last week, the pensioner was found at around 11 o'clock at night at Mupini village, which is 25 kilometers away from home. They indicated that the mother of 5 was born healthy and only in 1995 did she develop mental illness, which she still battles with to date. Social media was abuzz this last week when the video of the naked pensioner went viral. It was widely claimed that the woman appeared before patrons of a local bar after a whirlwind culminated, alleging that she was traveling within it. However, the family rubbished those claims.
observation,
Yes.
to be precisely on psychiatric patients, that's actually mushrooming in our streets, especially in town. And actually, it is a man-made. It is not something that happened on its own. It's man-made. We could avoid the situation. We have got a lot of alternatives that we could look at. One of them is like getting a facility where the family could take care of them, or we could just give more proper attention to them. So at least the involvement, community involvement, and you know, the region also, the leadership involvement could actually rescue, could remedy the situation if we wanted to get this situation get resolved. But of course, it is really has been a problem since the independence, since this country got independence, and until today we're still remaining with the same predicament, which does not get solution. I think it's now high time that we need to get solution for once and for all.
Okay, it is a